Customized gifts are awesome to make and to receive. And for many print businesses out there, holidays like Father's Day are an opportunity to increase sales on customized products. So in this video, we're going to show you how to make 3 different Father's Day gifts, all with the same printer, the Sawgrass VersiFlex SG1000. And if you're new to VersiFlex, it's a whole new decorating technology created by Sawgrass, combining innovative software, inks, and paper to create what people love. With VersiFlex, you can customize cotton garments and uncoated hard surfaces while still retaining full sublimation capabilities. All right, so here we are in Sawgrass Print Utility. We're going to go ahead and click Create. As you can see, it automatically brings up my VersiFlex printer here. We're going to go ahead and add file. And here's our graphic right here. I'm going to click Open. Now this is a very high resolution graphic, so I'm going to have to resize it to my actual print size, which I need to be 6.14 inches wide. And there you can see it readjusts the height automatically, and then that brings us to our print DPI of 300. A few other settings we're just going to go over really quick. I'm going to skip ahead to Product because we're pressing this on uncoated wood. Media size, I have my letter size paper loaded here. And then of course, because it's uncoated wood, we're only going to have the option for VersiFlex Light. I'm going to scroll back up a little bit. I prefer this to be landscape. And I do like it centered on the page. Now, because this is a graphic and not a photograph of people, I am going to switch my color mode to vivid. And with all my settings in place, let's go ahead and print it. Okay, there we go. Ready to print. Okay, so this is fresh out of the printer. We're going to lay it down here. You notice I have it square around, which is going to help me to align the transfer. You can use it as my guide. And then once it's down, so you just got to make sure to do it right on the first try. That looks pretty darn good. I'm going to press that down just so it can kind of, that moist ink can get it to stick. Going to carefully bring it around, flip it over. Make sure it's centered onto my lower platen. Cover it with a piece of parchment paper, and we're going to press. Heat press is set to 375 degrees for 30 seconds with medium firm pressure. Now, while it's pressing, this is a great time to go ahead and put on your gloves or get some sort of heat protection because this is a very immediate hot peel. So you just want to keep your hands protected. All right, that's 30 seconds. We're going to open up our press, slide this out. And again, this is an immediate peel. So I'm going to start at the corner. There we go, got a little piece right there. And that sign looks great. Since these bag tags are a sublimation project, we're going to swap out our VersiFlex Light media for the sublimation paper. Doing that is as simple as removing this paper, VersiFlex Light media, and placing in our sublimation paper. And we're ready to go. All right, back in Print Utility. Again, we're going to click Create. We're going to bring in our file. Click Open. Now this one did come in sized perfectly. The file was set up just a little bit different, so we don't have to resize anything. I am going to come down here, and this is a sublimation project. So we're going to switch over. This is like an FRP bag tag. It's like a fiber reinforced plastic. The closest thing that I found that works pretty solid is going to be the MDF setting. And then we're going to switch from our default down to the letter size media. And since we're using TextPrint DT Lite, the closest one that I found is either Type A or TruePix Classic should work. I'm going to switch over to Type A. Gonna go back up to change a few things. I do like this centered on the page. And then over in color management, we are going to switch this to vivid because it's a graphic and not a photo of anyone. And now let's go ahead and send this to print. Beautiful. All right, so first we're going to start off with some parchment paper, the lower platen of our heat press. Going to bring over our transfer and some heat tape. So for this bag tag, it's pretty simple. We're just going to center it to our printout, like so. And for these, we do use a little bit of heat tape to keep them in place. So now what I'll do is I'll just take this, flip it over, make sure it's centered on my lower platen, cover it with another sheet of parchment paper, and press. Now for this last project, we are going to adjust the time setting on our heat press to 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 50 seconds. Okay, now unlike our other transfers, this one we're going to let it sit for about 20-30 seconds. We're just going to let everything settle and then we'll peel it. Okay, so I'm going to flip it over. Just pull it off. And there we go. Isn't that the coolest? All right, so for this t-shirt, we're going to use our tabloid size paper. Switching that out is pretty easy, especially with this expandable tray. Didn't load our paper print side down. Adjust the tabs there. We're ready to go. Okay, so to print our t-shirt, we're going to go into Sawgrass Print Utility. We're going to click on Create. We're going to add our file. Here we go. Really cool graphic. Now this is a high resolution image, so we are going to have to resize this. So for my width, I do want this to be 10.5, and if I hit enter, it'll automatically resize everything else. Now if you look, we're at 300 dpi, which is perfect for print. Scroll down a little bit here. I do want this graphic centered on the page. And you'll see that for the product, it is cotton, which is perfect. It's exactly what we want. It's already defaulted to my paper size of tabloid. Print quality high, media type VersiFlex. That's what I love about clicking the presets. Now, as you'll see in a moment, when we click a different preset, it'll bring up different settings. Possibly, like especially if we go over to like glass or something like that, you see it's changing the media type. But since we're working with cotton, everything's pretty much set the way we want it. The last thing I will go and change, I'm going to go all the way back up. Under color management, I do want this to be vivid. It's going to give us a little extra boost of contrast and saturation, which I like for graphics like this. Okay, so before we send this to print, we're going to go ahead and load up our t-shirt onto the lower platen here. Going to make sure it's centered, and we're going to give it a pre-press so it can be totally ready as soon as my print comes out. Okay, our shirt is now pre-pressed. I am just going to adjust the pressure. We do want it to be at a heavy pressure, which on the TrueSpec heat press is about an 8. Make sure that's good there. There we go, 8 pressure. That's going to be perfect. So now that my t-shirt is nice and smooth, we've gotten out all the wrinkles and the moisture, let's go ahead and send our job to print so this can be ready for us to press immediately. And now all we got to do is just click print. Okay, so our graphic is fresh off the printer. So now we're going to carefully get that aligned, nice and centered on the heat press. And once I'm confident in my placement, I'll just drop it down gently. going to cover it with a sheet of parchment paper, slide it back in, and let my heat press do its thing. Okay, that's it. Let's open it up. Remove the parchment paper, and again, hot immediate peel. There we go, nice and smooth. Wowzers. That came out gorgeous. Now this next part is not officially in the VersiFlex instructions, but I really like the way that it makes my graphics look and feel on the t-shirt. So we're going to get our parchment paper, we're going to cover it back, and we're just going to give it a repress for about 5 seconds or so. There we go. Man, this truly came out amazing, and it's on 100% cotton. So there you have it. 3 super cool Father's Day gifts using 3 different materials and printed with 1 printer. If you want to offer your customers more variety without buying more machines, you gotta check out VersiFlex. You could purchase a Sawgrass VersiFlex system, HPN heat press, and lots more at Heat Press Nation. With a proven commitment to customer satisfaction and the largest selection of professional heat presses in the US, it's no surprise that we've become the choice for thousands of entrepreneurs across the country. Enjoy the HPN experience today at heatpressnation.com.